Hello, today I'll be talking about Koffing. Its previous BYC dates are June 14th, 1996, April 5th, 1999, January 24th, 2002, November 14th, 2004, September 5th, 2007, June 26th, 2010, April 16th, 2013, February 5th, 2016, November 26th, 2018, and September 16th, 2021. I most remember Koffing as being part of the team of James of Team Rocket in the early anime. I like Koffing's design, I think its name is clever. Let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Koffing, the poison gas Pokemon, whose number is 0109. This is what it looks like. Its type is poison. Abilities, levitate, or neutralizing gas in Gen 8+. Stench is its hidden ability in Gen 8+. Gender ratio is 50-50. Catch rate is 190 or 35.2%. Breeding is egg group amorphous. And hatch time 20 cycles. Height is 2 foot or 0.6 meters. Weight is 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram. Base experience yield is 114 in the first 4 gens and 68 and 5+. Leveling rate is medium fast. EV yield is 1 and defense. Shape is that. It has no footprints as it has no feet. Pokedex color is purple and base friendship is 70. Koffing is a poison type Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves into Weezing starting at level 35. In Galar, Koffing evolves into Galarian Weezing starting at level 35. Biology, Koffing is a spherical Pokemon filled with toxic gases. It has vacant eyes and a wide mouth that usually has 2 pointed teeth in the upper jaw. However, a full set of teeth has been seen in the anime. Below its face is a cream-colored skull and crossbones marking. Several geyser-like protrusions, which usually release a mustard-colored gas, cover this Pokemon's body. Koffing's purple skin is very thin, and overinflation can cause it to explode. The Pocket Monsters Cardist Training Cards depicts Koffing as having a hollow body. Koffing creates gases within its body by mixing toxins with garbage, and produces more gas in higher temperatures. These gases are malodorous and cause sniffles, coughs, and teary eyes to those around them. The gases are also lighter than air, allowing Koffing to hover. When agitated, it creates a more toxic gas and expels it through the holes in its body. As shown in the anime, Koffing's gas can be ignited by fire or electricity. It feeds on the fumes of raw, rotting trash found in gas dumps and polluted air. Koffing at one point was plentiful in Galar due to factories. Koffing is most often found in urban areas. Koffing and its evolution Weezing are the only known Pokemon that can have neutralizing gas as an ability. Evolution, Koffing evolves into Weezing, and Galar it evolves into Galarian Weezing. So you got Koffing here, then Weezing, and Galarian Weezing. It's Poison Fairy, so you can kind of see that here, so poison inside, fairy outside. NPC appearances, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time, and Explorers of Darkness. Koffing is a member of Team Skull, along with Zubat and the leader, Skuntank. This same Koffing is also the boss of Beach Cave. Pokedex entries in Gen 1 in red and blue. Because it stores several kinds of toxic gases in its body, it is prone to exploding without warning. Yellow, in hot places, its internal gases could expand and explode without any warning. Be very careful. Stadium, a Pokemon that is like a thin-skinned balloon filled with a highly toxic gas, known to occasionally explode. In Gen 2, in gold, its thin, flimsy body is filled with gases that cause constant sniffles, coughs, and teary eyes. Silver, the poisonous gases it contains are a little bit lighter than air, keeping it slightly airborne. Crystal, if one gets close enough to it when it expels poisonous gas, the gas swirling inside it can be seen. Stadium 2 is just golds again. In Gen 3 in Ruby, if Koffing becomes agitated, it raises the toxicity of its internal gases and then jets them out from all over its body. The Pokemon may overinflate its round body, then explode. Sapphire, Koffing embodies toxic substances. It mixes the toxins with raw garbage to set off a chemical reaction that results in a terribly powerful poison gas. The higher the temperature, the more gas is concocted by this Pokemon. In Emerald, getting up close to a Koffing will give you a chance to observe, through its thin skin, the toxic gases swirling inside. It blows up at the slightest stimulation. Fire Red, its thin balloon-like body is inflated by horrible toxic gases. It reeks when it is nearby. Leaf Green is just red and blues again. In Gen 4, in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, lighter than air gases in its body keep it aloft. The gases not only smell, they are also explosive. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are their gold and silver counterparts. In Gen 5, Black and White are Diamond, Pearl, and Platinums. Black 2 and White 2. Toxic gas is held within its thin, balloon-shaped body, so it can cause massive explosions. In Gen 6, X is Fire Red's entry. Y is the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and Black and White entries. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the Ruby and Sapphire counterparts. The Gen 7 Pokedex entry is Yellow's entry. In Gen 8 and Sword,
Its body is full of poisonous gas. It floats into garbage dumps seeking out the fumes of raw, rotting trash. Shield. It adores polluted air. Some claim that Koffing used to be more plentiful in the Galar region than they are now. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are basically their Diamond and Pearl counterpart, but the comma after smell is now a semicolon. In Gen 9, Scarlet is Black 2 and White 2's entry. Violet is very similar to the Silver entries, but slightly different, so we'll read it. The poisonous gases it contains are a little bit lighter than air. That's why it's always slightly airborne. So we've got Koffing in the Kitakami Pokedex. Of course, driving away a few Pokemon. Spoink, Houndour, and Rockruff. Game locations. Side game locations. Held items Pokemon caught in Gen 1 must be treated to a Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear. In Red, Blue, and Yellow, you get a berry 100% of the time. In Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black 2, White 2, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sword, and Shield, you get a Smoke Ball 5% of the time. Stats, base stats. HP 40, Attack 65, Defense 95, Special Attack 60, Special Defense 45, Speed 35, for a total of 340. This Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 60. Pokeathon stats. Type effectiveness, damaged normally by normal, flying, rock, ghost, steel, fire, water, electric, ice, dragon, and dark. Weak to ground and psychic for double, immune to nothing, resistant to fighting, poison, bug, grass, and fairy, all for half. Notes, if this Pokemon has Levitate, the effectiveness of ground-type moves is 0, so it'll go from 2 to 0. In Gen 1, the effectiveness of bug-type moves is 2, so it went from 2 to half. Learn Step by leveling up. At 1, you get Poison Gas and Tackle, 4 Smog, 8 Smokescreen, 12 Clear Smog, 16 Assurance, 20 Sludge, 24 Haze, 28 Self-Destruct, 32 Sludge Bomb, 36 Toxic, 40 Belch, 44 Explosion, 48 Memento, and 52 Destiny Bond. By TM, 1 Takedown, 6 Scary Face, 7 Protect, 13 Acid Spray, 16 Psybeam, 18 Thief, 25 Facade, 45 Venoshock, 47 Endure, 49 Sunny Day, 50 Rain Dance, 66 Body Slam, 70 Sleep Talk, 85 Rest, 87 Taunt, 91 Toxic Spikes, 94 Dark Pulse, 102 Gunk Shot, 103 Substitute, 107 Will-O-Wisp, 114 Shadow Ball, 125 Flamethrower, 126 Thunderbolt, 141 Fire Blast, 148 Sludge Bomb, 166 Thunder, 171 Terra Blast, 174 Haze, 175 Toxic, 177 Spite, 180 Gyro Ball, 202 Pain Split, 214 Sludge Wave, and 224 Curse. By breeding, this group gives you Curse, this group gives you Pain Split, this group gives you Spit Up, this group gives you Spite, and this group gives you Stockpile and Swallow. TCG only moves, you get Double Edge from this card, side game data, this here, yep. Pokemon Ranger in the browser entry. Koffing sprays poison mist to attack. It puffs up if a loop is drawn around it. In Shadows of Olmia, it attacks by scattering poison gas. Guardian Signs, it attacks by scattering poison gas around itself that makes Pokemon tired. Okay, got all this. Yep. In new Pokemon Snap, in the Photodex entry, Koffing's body is full of poisonous gas. If you see one all puffed up, that's because the gases of the poison swamp have triggered a chemical reaction. You get Koffing at level 35 outside of Galar, you get Wheezing, but at level 35 in Galar, you get Galarian Wheezing. Sprites here, so this is interesting. So you can see the skull and crossbones are on the bottom, but in red and blues, for some reason, they put it on top of the head. That's very interesting. But it's got the basics, which is pretty fun. Especially since they could actually do purple, so that's a fun thing that they have. This looks like it's more of a gas than the crater, I guess, than like the meteor kind of shape, I guess. This doesn't really work for that one. This one, I guess, could work for that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't even want to begin with that one. Gen 2, so we get this slightly different purple here. Then this blue for the shiny. Yep, and this is, again, more of a side view rather than a proper back sprite. But, oh well. So, yeah. Oh, and this one is basically, it animates it rather than just having it. Well, that's kind of cool. Oh, but it's a different gas animation. That's very interesting. Okay. Gen 3, we get all the colors, this sort of yellowish color for the gas. So now it's sort of a different blue. Oh, and the skull and crossbone are now yellow in this gen. And this one is sort of a, I don't know, green blue, I guess. And the gas is purple. That's kind of fun. It'd be better if it were like opposite. Like this was the yellow and that one was the. But oh well. I guess they wanted to make it more closer to the other one. But anyway, yep. These are all like this. Yep. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now craters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 craters. I guess maybe 10. I don't know. But 4 or whatever. Anyway, then yes, diamond and the Gen 4 Pokemons. The Gen 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess. Yeah. That's interesting because it goes from a full back stride to not a full back stride. I mean, they've done that before in some of the other ones, but usually by the time we get to Gen 3, it's cut off, but I guess because it's so small, but I think that's very interesting. Then we get this sort of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, for some reason introduces this this other purple, which I'm not terribly familiar with. I'm more familiar with this purple, I think. It's kind of interesting that they made that new. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8 with this one. Yep. Okay, and we got a slightly different one. They went back to the other purple. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. But yeah, so that's interesting. And I got the models kind of going back to the other purple more, but it's a lot lighter. These are horrifying looking since they're missing their pupils. That's probably just the quality of the image. I'm not going to try to count these things. Also, yeah, it's a proper back sprite again. For these generations. Yep. I mean, pretty good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not so much great for the front sprite, but the back sprite's definitely good. Good version or interpretation, I guess, for the models. It's great. Skull and Crossbones. Oh, the Skull and Crossbones are back to being white. Did they? They kind of did that in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, made it sort of the cream color, I guess. And then Gen 7, a little better. You get their pupils now. That's nice. But yeah. Yep. And then way better quality models in the Let's Go games here. Again, without the gas, it looks so weird. Then Sword and Shields. So this is probably like an animation that plays the gas leaking out. But yeah, that's kind of fun. Even better models now. Yep. Homes. Yep. Got that. And yeah, that might be a little bit different color, a little bit darker, but generally stay the same. That's pretty nice. Okay, in the anime, Koffing in the anime, like that color I guess I'm familiar with. It's kind of between the one that most people would know is James's Koffing from early, in the anime. Yeah. Anyway. So yep, we got all that. Yep. Pokedex entries. In Black and White, episode 83, in Ash's Pokedex. Koffing, the poison gas Pokemon. Koffing hovers in the air thanks to the poisonous gas it contains, which have a foul odor and can explode. Pokemon Origins. So I got one Koffing in Pokemon Origins, and in a Jolteon, being disgusted by its smell. Then we got Pokemon Generations, so an Arbok and a Koffing, that's fun. Pokemon Evolutions, and the manga, Koffing and Pokemon Adventures. See a couple of them, they're very angry. Yes. Yeah, In the TCG. Other appearances, Super Smash Bros. When released from a Pokeball, Koffing will initiate a poison gas attack, which will pummel an opponent. Koffing did not return in Super Smash Bros. Melee and was replaced by Weezing. Aww. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. Koffing appears in the 3DS version as an enemy in Smash Run. Its poison gas will reduce players' stats. It later appears in Smash Tour, an exclusive mode for Wii U version. Should say the Wii U version. In this mode, Koffing will release Smokescreen, which will obscure all players' views of the board for one turn. Koffing appears as a trophy in both games. So you can see the trophy here, Koffing trophy in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. Trophy information. This is new. Instead of it being divided by region, it's divided by game. For the 3DS version, I guess. This poison-type Pokemon's balloon-like body is filled with toxic gases. In Smash Run, it floats over to fighters and expels gas at regular intervals. If the gas touches you, the stats you've worked so hard to build up will drop. Attack while it's deflated to take it down safely, and then help yourself to the many, many items it leaves behind. For the Wii U version, a poison-type Pokemon that looks somewhat like a blown-up balloon, as you might be able to guess. Though it's not filled with fresh air, that's poison gas, and this Pokemon isn't shy about sharing. In Smash Tour, the gas it spews will hide spaces and any items that may be on them. The smoke should disappear by the end of the turn. Trivia: in the Pokemon Red and Blue beta, Koffing was originally known as Nye, representing New York City's polluted air. Aww. I mean, they got it under control, but oh, that's so mean. It's a good thing they changed that, since that never would have been able to be, sustainable. Like, eventually that would have been probably dealt with, and yeah, it wouldn't have been a great reference. According to a question of a Pokemon exam the characters of the anime participated in, Koffing was supposedly first discovered in a public bathhouse. However, the Team Rocket Expansion's Koffing card states that Koffing was first discovered in a weapons factory. This may be either because Jesse answered the question incorrectly, or due to an inconsistency between the TCG and the anime. Koffing and Muna are the only Pokemon whose names are mentioned in music found in the game. Muna's name is heard in That Musical Charming Muna, while Koffing's Japanese name is heard in That Verbank Gym Performance Koffing, although it is replaced by the word Pokemon in international releases. This distinction is possibly shared with Wingull, as its Japanese name, Kamome, is arguably heard in the obscured vocals of Village Bridge. Koffing shares similar traits to Grimer and Trubbish. All three Pokemon are pure Poison-type Pokemon with a single evolved form, roughly the same base stat totals and evolution levels, and appear to be based on different kinds of pollution, Koffing being air pollution. Koffing and its evolved Kantonian form are the only Pokemon whose abilities changed in Gen 8. In previous generations, their only ability was Levitate. Origin: considering its looks, its ability to float, and its tendency to explode, Koffing may be based on a floating naval mine or living meteorite. It is also based on smog and other forms of air pollution. Koffing may also be based on the imagined fear that heavy pollution caused by the leakage and/or improper disposal of toxic and/or radioactive waste may result in the creation of new and undesirable life forms. The symbol under its face resembles the skull and crossbones, a hazard symbol for poison. Name origin: Koffing may be a corruption of coughing, very likely. Doggers may be derived from Daku Gasu, poison gas. In other languages, related articles, external links to the Smash Bros. Series. Yeah, let's move on.
Now let's watch Koffing's first scene in the anime.
Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we're watching episode 2, Pokemon Emergency. The plot of the episode is not really relevant because we are doing a Who's That Pokemon section. So,
Who's that
Pokemon? Yep. So, yeah. It's Koffing! Yeah, it's Koffing, yeah. Okay. Okay, that's it. Let's move on.
Now let's talk about the TCG. I have 2 Koffing cards. I'll start with the older one.
It's the first Koffing card design. It was illustrated by Mitsuhiro Orita. This is a good image to introduce what Koffing is to the audience. It has 50 HP. It's 2 foot and 2 pounds, which is 0.2 pounds lighter than its weight in the official Pokedex. It has one move, Foul Gas. This is not a move in the video games. On this card, it costs 2 grass energies. It hits for 10 damage. The player must also flip a coin. If it lands on heads, the opponent Pokemon is poisoned. If it lands on tails, the opponent Pokemon is confused. Koffing is weak to Psychic type for double damage. It has no resistance, which is odd since it could have been resistant to fighting on or grass, with that either representing grass or poison, as it is resistant to those in Gen 1 when this card was released. It costs 1 of any energy to retreat. Its description reads, because it stores several kinds of toxic gases in its body, it is prone to explode without warning. This is the Pokedex entries in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Leaf Green. It's level 13. In the video games, it would be 22 levels until evolving into Weezing. The second card is the second Koffing card design. It was illustrated by Sumiyoshi Kizuki. I really enjoy this art. It's just a fun image. This Koffing has 40 HP, 10 less than its predecessor. It shares the same height, weight, weakness, resistance, and retreat cost as its predecessor.
Next to the weight, there is the Team Rocket expansion symbol. This Koffing has 2 moves, Tackle and Poison Gas. I've already talked about Tackle in the video games, so I'll just talk about it on this card. It costs 1 of any energy and hits for 10 damage. In the video games, Poison Gas is a poison-type move introduced in Gen 1. It just poisons the target, with the idea being that the Pokemon is releasing a poisonous gas. On this card, it costs 1 grass energy and 1 of any energy. It hits for 20 damage. The player also flips a coin. If it lands on heads, the opponent Pokemon is poisoned. Its description reads, first discovered in a weapons factory. This Pokemon cannot be found almost anywhere. This is an original description that adds lore to how Koffing was created or formed, or however these kind of Pokemon came into being. It's level 12, which is 1 level less than its predecessor. In the video games, it would be 23 levels from evolving into Weezing. Speaking of Weezing, I have a Weezing card, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. Now let's see why people love Koffing.
Hello and welcome to the community post section of the video. Someone has responded to one of these, so we'll read it. It's what do you love about Koffing? So, number 1 Drizzile fan has once again responded. They say, has a nice shiny, plus it evolves into Weezing, and Pokemon with 2 heads are always neat, so Koffing gets some credit by proxy. That's cool. Yes. Thank you, for responding. We'll move on.
Now let's look at fan art.
Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you familiar with the series, you might be wondering why we're on this single image, and that's because it's the only image we'll be doing today. So this is basic Pokemon's Team Rocket by Yoshiaki. So you can see here, it's the original main team of Team Rocket in the anime. So we've got Meowth, the Koffing, of course, and Ekans. Yes. Yep. This is a good piece of art. Looks very 3D. I don't know. I don't think it's a 3D model. It looks like it's... I don't know. It's kind of blurring the line between painting and 3D model. I can't really tell very well. But looks very good nonetheless, regardless of what it is. So, yeah, let's move on.
Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight as I need to wait until I've talked about Snorlax before I can catch a Koffing. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Weezing. As always, this isn't my proper outfit and you'll see me tomorrow.